Recorded Books and One Click Digital present Gilt Trip by Laura Childs with Diana Orgain. Narrated by Danielle Ferland.
Chapter 1. It was your typical New Orleans Garden District party. Wealthy, careless men sloshing down too much bourbon, tucked and lifted socialites flaunting their latest fashions, and 20-something women looking sleek as alley cats as they prowled for rich husbands. And every dang one of them on their best, baddest behavior as they shrieked, shimmied, danced, and drank while the bayou breezers cranked out a string of raucous zydeco tunes. "And then there's us," said Carmela Bertrand. She gave a rueful smile as butlers in white tie and tails glided through the crowd serving tiny canapes of duck liver, baked oysters, and beluga caviar. "Nothing wrong with sniffing the rarefied air and seeing how the other half lives," said her friend Ava Grieux. "I'd say it's all very posh and predictable," said Carmela. Her tone was flat, but her blue eyes danced with mirth as she ruffled a hand through short, choppy blonde hair that was, as Ava so delightfully phrased it, chunked and skunked. Blessed with a radiant complexion and relatively calm demeanor, by New Orleans standards, that is, Carmela also possessed a nimble mind and burning curiosity, which, on more than one occasion, had sent her rushing in where proverbial angels feared to tread. "Watch this," said Ava, grabbing a champagne glass and tipping it toward an enormous ice sculpture. "Tell me this isn't cool." A slosh of excellent French champagne gushed down a steep tunnel of ice, foamed slightly as it navigated a quick series of S-turns, and emptied into Ava's crystal flute with a satisfying fizz. "Isn't that too much?" exclaimed Ava. "Service with a flourish," said the smiling bartender. Carmela decided maybe she needed a hit of bubbly, too. "What do you call this ice-carving thing?" "A champagne luge," said the waiter, "guaranteed to deliver a super-chilled serving of champagne." Ava, who was Carmela's BFF, shopping cohort, and French Quarter neighbor, gave Carmela a nudge. "Come on, you do it." She smiled coyly at the bartender. "Ready, baby?" Nodding, the bartender hefted a magnum of champagne, poured a judicious serving into the delicately carved ice slat at the top of the sculpture, then stood back and smiled. "Isn't that the coolest dang thing you've ever laid eyes on?" said Ava, as she watched the froth of champagne wend its circuitous route to Carmela's glass. The ice luge.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?